Today, I want to talk a little about problems with causal inference. This is the idea that making an assumption that two variables are causally related, that one variable causes the other variable to happen. Many of you have probably heard the idea that marijuana is a gateway drug, that it leads users to engage in harder drug use over time. The idea behind this is data that found that if you ask hard drug users if they ever used marijuana, overwhelmingly they're going to say yes. At some point they did use and maybe still use marijuana. This led to a conclusion that marijuana caused people to engage in harder drug use over time, that it was a gateway drug. People who use marijuana go on to use hard drugs. So it's a gateway to other drugs. The problem with this is that it looks at correlation, the correlation between marijuana use and hard drug use, and it assumes a causal relationship, that marijuana use causes hard drug use. Just because hard drug users have used marijuana doesn't mean that marijuana caused the hard drug use. One way to tease out this problem with causal inference would be to set up a study a little bit differently. So instead of asking hard drug users to tell us about what they did previously, we can follow marijuana users over time and see if their drug use patterns fit this causal relationship, or at least give evidence to this causal relationship. What we find is that if we track marijuana users over time, most of them never go on to use harder drugs. They continue to use marijuana. They may stop using marijuana altogether, but most do not go on to use harder drugs. So marijuana is not a gateway. The previous conclusion from the research was based on faulty post hoc reasoning. Post hoc reasoning means starting with the outcome and working backwards to determine the original cause. In fact, other researchers, in kind of a tongue-in-cheek way, have proposed a different gateway drug, and that's breast milk. Because if we ask hard drug users if they were breastfed as babies, we find that a majority of them were. It makes no more sense to blame breast milk for hard drug use than it does to blame marijuana use. And this is part of the issue that you face when you're trying to establish causal relationships between variables.